Good morning. Good morning. Had my camera turned the right way this week. um, we'll give it a couple of minutes. It's not quite 5:55 yet, so we'll give it a couple of minutes for anybody to join live. But yeah, if you are already here, or if you're watching this on the replay, um, just take a few moments to just move your body any which way that feels good. Take a few breaths, and yeah, we'll give it another couple of minutes before we get started. But today's session, we're going to be focusing on activating your energy for the day ahead. So I'm going to be taking you through a sequence of movements, very, very simple movements, and also taking you through a breath technique to activate your energy for the day. So yeah, this is the 555 morning activation session that I often lead for my groups. So yeah, for the last 2 years almost, I've been running various groups for men, and 5:55 on a Friday is a time where we would meet and we would go through some practice together. So we'd do some breathing, we'd do some movement, we'd set some intentions for the day, things like that. So I talked a little bit about the rationale behind 5:55 last week. So if you missed that, I invite you to go back and watch that. But if to keep it brief, the number 5 is a number for change. So 555, we've got an opportunity to change our state in the morning, and a lot of people are still asleep, right? A lot of people are maybe snoozing the alarm, but yeah, not the guys that I work with. We get up, we set our intentions and our energy for the day. So yeah, we'll give it another minute just to see if anybody else joins live. And yeah, maybe while we're waiting to start, I'll invite you to just take a moment to check in with one word that summarizes how you are this morning. So just to yourself, or you can write it in the comments, or just note it down yourself. Yeah, one word that summarizes how you are this morning, and we'll check out at the end of the session to see if you notice any change. So yeah, maybe that word is tired, maybe it's sluggish, maybe it's energized. Don't know, but whatever that word is for you, maybe it's pressure, maybe it's peace, um, and yeah, just check in with one word. And yeah, take any movements that feel good. Move your shoulders, move your neck, move your spine, move your hips, have a shake. And yeah, we'll take a few deep breaths. So we're going to begin our movement practice with the most repeated movement pattern that we do in a day in our lives, and that is the movement pattern of our breath. So we're going to begin the session with some breath work, a very simple basic technique. But breath is, like I say, the most repeated movement pattern that we do in our lives. So if you think about it, if your breath pattern and rhythm is not optimized, everything else, every other movement pattern that you do could potentially be limited, because our breath is our primary movement pattern. It opens up all of this area through the body, all the way down into the belly, and it affects everything. It affects our nervous system. It affects all our organs. It affects pretty much every system in the body. It affects our minds. It affects everything. So yeah, the first movement pattern we're going to work on today is the breath. Now, the first thing to note is how your posture is. So if your posture is kind of like this, your head's forward, your shoulders are forward, you'll probably already notice that your ribs then kind of compress into your belly, into the top half of your belly. So when we're slouched like this, it's actually quite difficult to take a full breath. In fact, just try it for a moment. Sit in that position where you're slouching, like, and kind of overemphasize it just to get the point. So really round the shoulders, really hunch forward, and just try and take in a full breath into the body, especially into that upper belly area. And you'll notice, hopefully, that it's a bit of a struggle to get a full breath in. And then I want you to sit up tall. So you can sit, you don't have to be seated on the floor. You could be seated on a chair or the sofa. Sit with a nice, long, tall spine like this. So strong spine, but relaxed front, relaxed shoulders, relaxed face. And then take a few deep breaths from this new posture. And just notice how there's more space around here, around here, around the belly. We're just going to start with a few rounds of full breaths. I'm not even going to say belly breaths. We're not necessarily going to really kind of work on that, but we are going to have a bit of focus towards the lower body. So into the upper belly, maybe even down into the mid belly. So let's take a few minutes to close our eyes. So closing your eyes just helps you just lock in that focus towards your breathing pattern. And we're going to take 3 or 4 deep breaths. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just notice where the body is moving in response to your breath. So where the body is moving in response to your breath. Does your belly even move at all? Is it just into the ribs, into the chest? Does it move a little bit? Does it move a lot? Okay, then settle the breathing down into a natural rhythm, breathing in and out of your nose. So we're going to find a equal balance between the in-breath and out-breath. So inhale for a count of 4 or 5, and then exhale for a count of 4 or 5. And I want you to just simply maintain this posture of a strong spine, but relaxed front, relaxed belly, relaxed chest, relaxed shoulders, relaxed head. And as we go through a few rounds, I want you to just see if you can just soften and relax this area here around your belly, around the upper belly and the mid belly a little bit more. Just see if you can relax it there and invite your breath into this space. So focusing in on that area around the upper belly. You can even place a hand there to use as a bit of a target. Breathing in for a count of 4 or 5 and out for a count of 4 or 5. Okay, next we are going to take a pause at the top of the breath. So breathe in for that count of 4 or 5 and just pause for a couple of counts. So 2 or 3. Pause at the top of the breath and then exhale for a count of 4 or 5. Pause at the bottom of the breath for a count of 2 or 3. And then start the next cycle. Still focusing in on this area around the upper belly, maybe even moving down into the mid belly. Pausing at the top of the breath, exhale in, pausing at the end of the breath, the bottom of the breath. We're going to repeat that a few more times. So just find that flow, find that rhythm. Breathe in nice and deeply into the body, deeply into the system. I'm just getting a bit distracted. There's literally a spider climbing up this web right, right there. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then if the pauses feel okay, maybe you can increase them to the same duration as the in breath and out breath. So breathe in for that count of 4 or 5 into the mid belly, upper belly, and that will then naturally rise up into the chest, and then pause for a count of 4 or 5 in that full state, and then exhale for a count of 4 or 5. Pausing in that empty state. Okay, keep going. Inhale for a count of 4 or 5. Pause for a count of 4 or 5. Exhale for a count of 4 or 5. And pause for a count of 4 or 5. Follow that rhythm, follow that flow. And I'm just going to talk on a few points that we're going to just overlay into that sequence in a moment. So we often explore these 4 energies of the king, the warrior, the magician, and the lover in these sessions, in the coaching programs that I run. So the warrior energy is linked to the element of fire. An element of fire is a very kind of active energy. Then the element of air is connected to the king archetype. The element of water is connected to the lover archetype, and the energy of the earth is connected to the magician archetype. So with this 4 flow breath, or 4 power breath, I sometimes call it, we're going to use this sequence to activate these 4 powers. So on the in breath, I want you to imagine the energy of fire. So the energy of fire goes up, so fire flames go upwards. It's a powerful energy. So the energy of fire brings us up. So we breathe in, we go up, if you imagine some flames. And then when we pause at the top, we're in our fullness of breath. That is our air element. So connect to the element of air. So maybe imagine some wind or some trees blowing, just whatever comes to your mind. Imagine the qualities of wind or air. And then as we exhale, we connect to the energy of water, and water travels down. Rain, waterfalls, taps, showers, etc. So just connect to the energy of water that goes down. So just think in your mind the imagery of water. And then finally, as we pause at the bottom of the breath, think of the ground, think of the earth. So think of, some woodland, field, a beach. And then we start again. So inhale, imagine the energy of the fire, kick-starting the breath, kick-starting our system. So just think in your mind some imagery of fire. Pause at the top of the breath. Think of some imagery in relation to air, wind. Exhale, imagery of water. And then pause, imagery of earth. Just repeat. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, imagery of fire. Pause, imagery of air. Exhale, imagery of water. And then pause, imagery of earth. Okay, final couple of rounds. We're going to switch that to the words of the warrior, king, lover, and magician. So as you breathe in, think of imagery of a warrior. So a warrior takes some action, gets stuff done. So imagine your version of a warrior. Breathe in, feel that activated in your system, that energy of rising up, moving towards something. And then pause in the energy of the king. So the energy of the king oversees the kingdom, leads from the front. And then the energy of the lover slows down, slows down. If the energy of the warrior is go, 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 the energy of the lover is slow, slow, slow. And then finally, the energy of the magician is stillness, is deeply connected to the body, the earth, the subtler realms. And then we start again. Inhale. Imagine the warrior. Imagine you taking action today. Pause as the king. Imagine you leading today. Exhale as the lover. Imagine you connecting with others and slowing down, being present today. And then pausing as a magician. Imagine you creating something new. Going for a walk and having that insight or that idea. Good, one more round. Inhale. Pause at the top. Exhale. Pause at the bottom. Good, and then return the breath to a normal pattern. Breathe in for a count of 4 or 5, out for a count of 4 or 5. And maybe start to take some movements that feel good. Move the spine, move the shoulders, move the head, move the neck. Okay, and then next we're going to go into just some real basic movements, less than 10 minutes. I'm going to do 4 movements. So we're going to start lying down on our backs, and we're going to activate the magician energy first, then the lover, then the warrior, then the king, and then we're going to finish seated. So take a moment to just find somewhere on the ground. We're going to lay down with our feet on the floor and knees bent, and we're going to go into some real slow bridge movements. So yeah, I'm going to just go back here. I'll guide you through it. So bending the knees, lying back. We're going to do a minute, just over a minute of bridges. So you're going to press into the floor with the feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, engage in the hamstrings and the glute muscles. Exhale, returning the hips back down to the ground. So inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, return the hips to the floor. And as you're doing this movement, just really focus on your feet connecting into the ground underneath you. And then connect to your legs, connect to your hips, connect to your glutes. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, return the hips to the floor. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, return the hips to the floor. And just do this real slowly as you can. 30 more seconds. Good, last one. Okay, next movement, you're going to drop the knee down to the side on the in-breath, and then on the out-breath, the other knee is going to come down to join it, and you're going to finish in a twist. Then on the next in-breath, the right knee comes over to the other side of the mat. Exhale, the left knee comes across to join it. You finish in a gentle twist, both knees to the right. And then you repeat, inhale and exhale. So now we just go a little bit quicker on this, but we really try and find that sense of rhythm and flow between the movement. And focus now on the hips and the pelvis area and the lower back. So we get a little twist through the lower back, nice bit of movement through the hips. So if the first movement focused in on the first section of the body, the legs, the glutes, this movement focuses on the next section of the body, the hips, the lower belly, lower back. Keep going, 30 more seconds. Good, last one on each side. Good, bring the knees back to center and just take a couple of centering breaths. Okay, we're going to come up to stand next. So take your time to come up to stand. This next movement, we're going to do a slam. So we're going to bring the arms up, and then we're just going to bring the arms down and bend the knees as we come down. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And we can start slow, and then we'll build up the pace. So inhale, stand up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So as you bring the body down, really kind of curl in here. So we're activating the belly, bringing some energy up into the belly and into the upper body as well. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, nice big stretch up, exhale down. So inhale up, exhale down. Last 30 seconds, we can go a little bit quicker, a bit more dynamic if you want. Inhale up and really use that exhalation to, you can either make some sounds, etc. And not to wake the family up. Keep going, last 10 seconds. Good. Last movement. Mountain pose. So stand with your feet hip width apart, hands to the side, standing up as tall as you can, but staying as relaxed as you can. So standing up as tall as you can and staying as relaxed as you can. And close your eyes. So I want you to then just bring your attention into the body. Notice how the body feels after those couple of movements. And just notice the energy in your system. Notice the energy in your body. Maybe, hopefully, noticing a bit more sharpness in the mind, a bit more energy in the mind as well. So stand as tall as you can, and as relaxed as you can. Imagine you're about to walk into the most important meeting of your life. Like, how are you going to stand? How are you going to show up in your full confidence, in your full power? So just stand there, stand there. Remember this feeling of energized openness, clarity, confidence, strength. And just feel that for a moment in your body. Feel the strength in your legs. Feel that your legs are fully supporting the body. Feel the hips and then feel the breath. Let's go back to that power breath into the belly. Pause at the top. Exhale. Pause at the bottom. Good. Repeat. Inhale. 4 or 5. Pause for a count of 4 or 5. Exhale for a count of 4 or 5. And pause for a count of 4 or 5. Activating all of these qualities that you possess. All these different energies that you possess. Good. One more round. Inhale for a count of 4 or 5. Pause for a count of 4 or 5. Exhale for a count of 4 or 5. And pause for a count of 4 or 5. Good. Return the breath to normal. Slowly open the eyes and just take a moment to just take any movements that feel good. So it might feel good to give the legs a shake. Might feel good to give the arms a shake. Maybe the shoulders a shake. Maybe a little jump. Maybe a little twist. Maybe stretch up to the ceiling. Maybe even forward fold and a stretch of the legs. Just any movements that feel good. And then we'll come back to our seat. So either on the floor or on a chair. Okay, find that nice posture. Tall spine, strong spine. Relax front, relax belly. And yeah, we'll just round this session out with a few moments of stillness again. So I invite you to close your eyes. Connect into your system, connect into your body, connect into your mind, connect into how you feel, connect into your energy. Taking a moment to think of a word that summarizes how you are in this moment. Maybe that word is different to the word that you started with. Maybe this session was different to what you expected. So these sessions are not about activating our energy in a kind of stressful way. It's a bit more intent towards what we're doing, a bit more precision, less stress, more strategic. But yeah, I just want you to go back to what I talked about right at the start, and the most fundamental movement pattern that we have is our breath. So yeah, I guess a little bit of homework for this week is to just check in on your posture as often as you can through the day, whether you're seated, whether you're standing up, whether you're walking, whether you're in the gym, whether you're running, exercising, on the bike, whatever it is. Just check in with your posture on a regular basis. If your posture's good, you're more likely to be breathing more optimally. If your posture's sunk, Say if you're like this on the phone, you're probably not breathing very efficiently. And if you're not breathing efficiently, you're not fully activating your full system. You're most likely just activating a sympathetic response in your system, which is ultimately a stress response, because this is a protective holding pattern for the body. So when we do this, when we are postures like this, the body is telling the nervous system, which is then directing our mind, our mindset, that there's a threat. We need to tense up. We need to get ready to fight. Whereas when we're open like this, when we're strong but soft, the body is directing the nervous system to play a different tune. And that tune is one of more openness to others, one of more connection, one of more presence, one of more peace. So yeah, we're not like this. We're not in a stress posture. We're in a connection posture. So yeah, that's the little challenge for the next few days, is to just check in on that posture, and also just check in with that word on a regular basis. Just say to yourself, like, I'm checking in with X. And you'll start to notice, like, where in the day your energy, your mood, your mindset, your posture starts to, go down. Because when our posture goes down, our energy goes down, our thoughts go down, everything goes down. When we're up like this, when we're tall and strong, aligned, our energy is up. If you just think of it like that, energy up, energy down. So yeah, I guess the last question is, do you want your energy to be up, or do you want your energy to be down? In the evening, when you go into bed, you probably want to be more like this. You probably want to be more kind of soft and, relaxed and not active, not as open. But yeah, during the day, do we want to be here, or do we want to be here? So yeah, I hope that was useful today. Use that 4-power breath. It's called a box breath. You probably heard about it, done it before. But just add in those 4 powers, those 4 qualities, those 4 elements, 4 archetypes into that sequence can be quite useful. And yeah, any movements on the ground, we're activating our magician, our lover archetypes. Any movement standing up, we're activating our warrior energy, our king energy. So yeah, just try it. Try it. So thank you guys for joining. I always finish before 6:30 with these sessions, because yeah, hopefully the household are still in bed, be getting up soon, and you're ready to go. So thanks for joining, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.